Paul Blart, the first film, came out, and it was one of those little films that it kind of swept the nation and started sweeping the world. How did you feel about this sudden explosion of this character, and thus leading on to years later coming out with a second film?
It surprised me probably as much as it surprised you. I was, we knew we had a character that would hopefully connect rather with people, and but the amount of people it connected with that blew me away, and I was flattered. I couldn't believe it, and then the more we developed this guy and made him an endearing character, we realized, man, he could keep going on. We need a hero again to come back and save the world. And that's what it feels like to me. It's always nice to get an underdog who can come, and just beat the odds and is an everyday kind of guy. So that,
Yeah.
that to me is what inspired me to continue on with this character and bring him back. I missed him. I miss playing him, and I miss the reaction from people I meet in the streets when they tell me about him.
But you play a lot of endearing underdogs. I mean, people might go online and say, well, he's just this guy who does the same
Right.
shtick, but you have this very sweet nature to you throughout. Is that an intent that you always want to make sure you're the lovable guy, the silly one who you connect to all the time?
No, I mean it's not something I have to do every time, but it's what I've been my whole life. I've been an underdog, and people doubted me in doing stand up, to getting a TV show, to saying you're not the lead of a show, you just don't have the looks of that, or in movie. So I like continually proving people wrong and trying, even if I do fail, just trying at least to not put these boundaries on myself and continue on and see where it goes. And I just have fun with. But I wouldn't mind playing something different here and there. But I enjoy the underdog. The underdog to me is, I try to do movies. I like making movies that I'd like to go see. The ones that I could bring my kids to, that I could bring my family to, and enjoy, make me feel better when I leave. And that's what I look for in a script. Or when I'm writing a script.
There's not many family films out there that can work for families in terms of children and adults getting the same laughs and making sure everything is very clean and gentle natured.
Right, and it's a tricky thing, because you want you want parents to feel comfortable with bringing their children, and you want children to have a fun time. But then there's a disconnect sometimes where parents can get bored and just kind of be like, I'm out of it. It's just a kids movie. I'll bring them there, and I'm just going to sit here for an hour and a half. But I want to make it. It's a challenge for me to make them laugh, and that's what we do in this movie. Hopefully, we can make tons. The parents have a great time, kids have a great time. You have a great time together as a family, and everybody just feels better. Like I said, it's a good feeling when you leave.
And because you write these films as well, you get so deep into creating these characters in this world. Do you like to have that very clear creation connected to you, or do you long to also have people come up to you and say, I've made something, do you want to work on this and partner up?
I'm never against anything like that. It's not that usually I write these because we have people. This is what people were asking me. They were talking to me about it, and when I meet people on the streets and stuff, they kept bringing up Mall Cop and this, and when are you doing another one of those? And I had never thought about it, and then I got together with my producing partner, and we just said, let's do another one. Let's bring him back, and it was easy writing, and that's how I can tell too when the ideas are flowing and we can take it to another level, make it bigger and better. When it's a struggle, that's when you go, oh man, maybe this just isn't right. Maybe this doesn't feel, maybe we should lay off it. But it came so fast and so easy that it was like, man, this just feels right to do this. But I'm never against material from other writers too, and I usually will take material and try to make it a little bit my own, to try to put my own stamp on it so I can, feel connected to the character.
Have you learned more things since Paul Blart in terms of raising stakes, action, stunts, and more Segway riding?
I don't know if I learned more. We did more. I mean, I definitely, reached a little further in this one. In fact, every time I wake up and I'm so sore, I don't, it's like I go, how did I not learn this from the first one, that this is going to be so painful? And each time I write a scene, I don't realize the consequences of, one day you're going to have to actually shoot this. You're going to have to do this. But, and when you're in a writing frenzy and you're just writing, you just say, this would be so funny. People would love this. I think people will laugh at this. And then, then the reality comes when that day shows up and you go, oh my gosh, you're going to have a bird beating me up? Okay. Yeah.
Are you thinking of doing more Paul Blart? I mean, maybe you could have a Fast and Furious franchise coming on, get The Rock involved.
Believe me, if the people want it, I'll keep bringing it because I love the character. I really do, and it always depends on how one does. I think if it does really well, and people still want another one, there's a lot of places we can take this guy, and yes, we can add a lot of different people and have a lot of fun with it. And I'm excited each time. Like I said, it keeps getting more and more physical, and it gets funnier, and the character better. So I'm up for it for sure.
Are there any standout moments in this film you're really looking forward to seeing audiences react to?
Well, the bird fight was one of the, it was a very long bird fight for me, and against the mechanical bird that they built that was very strong, and it whipped me pretty good. That was a fun one. I also kind of swing into one of the Las Vegas nightly shows, an aquatic show, a water show, where I'm kind of hanging above there, and that gets crazy, and I do some dance stuff. And we just had a blast making that stuff.
And is there anything else? You've got Pixels coming up, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, that one's coming up in July, I believe.
Is that going to be, was that intense to do as well?
That was intense. That was different. That was a different type of movie for me, and I play the President of the United States, and I've never done that before, going from Blart to the President of the United States, which was...
That's the third in the franchise of Blart, maybe.
That's right. Maybe that is it. That could be... Boy, you're writing for me. I love it. Yeah, that was a blast. It was a great one. Sandler's greatest always, and Chris Columbus. It's going to be a big movie.
Nope. I'm excited for everything that's coming up. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!